And please bear with us while I get our live stream started. I'm Stuart Creek. I'm in the marketing department here at Simplilearn. So it'll take me just a few minutes to get this process started. Yeah, live on LinkedIn, and I will begin the presentation now.
Not audible.
Oh, I'm sorry, not speaking loudly. All right, and welcome everyone. Stuart Creek from the marketing department at Simplilearn, and welcome to our career masterclass, how to build a personal brand and unlock career success. Our speaker today is Seema Sahay, a career security coach and author. Before we introduce Seema, I would like to point out that you can put questions for her into the Q&A panel at the controls in the right-hand column. Click on the Q&A to open that window, and you'll see the box to enter your question. You can use the chat window if you like. We tend to spend more time with the Q&A. I know that Seema may ask some questions about you for the chat, so find that with the little speech bubble at the lower right. And we're also going to be asking a couple of poll questions during the presentation. So the first one I'd like to ask, very straightforward, which is, how many years of experience in the workplace do you have? And we also like to ask a companion question. We've been asking it throughout the pandemic. How are you doing today? I know that with surges rising and falling, with lockdowns coming and going, it can be a confusing and stressful time. And it's been going on for quite a while. So we like to check in with people with that. And we'll give you another 15 seconds. And we'll close the poll in about 5 seconds from now. And here are your answers. So we have a good portion of the audience that's got more than 10 years of experience, about two-fifths. And the rest is distributed among the other experience levels. It's also good to see that nearly everybody is saying that they're doing well or doing okay. And hopefully what Seema has to say for you today is going to help you if you're in the could be better category. So without further ado, let us introduce Seema. She is a career security and enhancement coach, an author, a consultant, a trainer, over 23 years of experience in helping people. And she's got excellent resume. So I'll let her speak more to herself as I transfer the control of the sharing over to her. And she'll be able to share her presentation. Okay, Seema, take it away.
Right. Is that visible? Am I audible?
You're visible, audible, and we're seeing your slide presentation.
Thank you so much, Stuart. Thank you for the introduction, and always a pleasure to be here on this platform of Simplilearn. And hello, everyone. Hope to have a very nice time with all of you in this masterclass. So, not much of an introduction I would like to give today because it's all there on the screen. However, I would like to say that yes, I have been in this field for over 23 years now. And today I am going to be presenting on this topic. One second, please. Yes, how to build a personal brand and unlock career success in 2022. So, what's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So said Shakespeare, one of the most iconic playwrights of all times, in his play Romeo and Juliet. But that was in the 16th century. Today, however, it's all in the name. Or should I say, it's all in the brand, and that is brand you. So, who hasn't heard of people like Oprah Winfrey or Elon Musk or Tony Robbins or even Shah Rukh Khan? All of us have. All these individuals are in themselves very powerful brands. So, is personal branding only for the celebrities? No, it is for everyone. Because whether we like it or not, all of us have already a brand which we project to the world. However, this brand is not consciously created. So today I'm going to be talking about the key dimensions or the key skills on how to create a personal brand and how to unlock your career success, how to have an immensely successful professional journey. So, what is personal branding? Now, very often it is misconstrued or mistaken as your appearance, as your outward image, as your vanity, your outfits, your clothes, your style, and even the need for you to be present 24/7, promoting yourself in order to make a name for yourself. So, personal branding is not about how polished you look. It is also not about how many followers you have on Insta or Facebook. It is about how people perceive you. It is about how you're creating a brand, a unique brand for yourself. And that is, as I said, brand you. So, as I said, it is for everyone, all of you amazing professionals, experienced people, executives, people who are not yet working, people who are working and want to make amazing careers for themselves. People from all spectrums of life, people from all age groups. So, personal branding is for those who want to do more. It is for those who want to go beyond their routine existence and create a great impact on people through their personal, social, and professional lives. So basically, what is now your personal brand? It is about presenting yourself. It is about how your image is reflected to the outside world. But it is not about your superficial presentation. It has to depict your authentic self, what you are from the inside, your true self, and what are the values you hold. All these things need to be depicted in your personal brand and how this thing is reflected outside. And so it cannot be fake because you cannot project something which you are not. So your personal branding has to be aligned to your true self, or otherwise you will soon be found out. So again, it is not a fame game. It is not a 10 minutes under the spotlight. It is not you being constantly, or not even constantly, you being the flavor of the season, so to say. So it is much more long lasting and impactful and extensive. So it consists of three components. Personal brand has three important elements. The first is your unique perspective. So, what is, you have to find out what is unique about you. What is your perspective? What is your mindset? What is your thought process? And how is it different from others? The second is your value as an expert. What kind of value do you provide to people? And not just to all the people whom you want to specifically address, and that is your target audience. So, are you providing enough value to them? And the third, of course, is long-lasting impact. So, is your personal brand leaving a long-lasting impact on people? Uh, does it have the power? Is it powerful enough to outlive you? Is it powerful enough to leave a lasting legacy? So these are the few things which you have to consider when you are planning or designing your personal brand. So it is a reputation that you create in a very, very strategic manner. And it has to reflect, because you are an expert in your domain, it has to reflect how you are doing things in a different manner, how you're doing things in a new manner, and how you're doing things in a more innovative manner than what others are doing in the same field or in similar roles. So this is what differentiates you. Now, let me ask you a quick question. How many of you want to create an awesome personal brand for yourself? If you can answer in the chat box, please type brand and answer that question for me, please. Okay, brand, yes. Raja Rao, Mukesh, Sunita, Anil. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your response. And now the next question. How many of you want to create this unique brand and also become immensely successful in your careers? Please type me in the chat box if you want to do that. I can see a lot of responses coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everyone is typing me. Thanks so much for the response. So here goes. Now, how do you create a unique personal brand? It is actually a three-pronged process, and you can do it by following what I call my 3E formula. And what is the 3E formula? It is explore, engineer, and execute. So explore what your hidden talents are. Explore your strengths. Explore your, what you are good at. And, you have to sort of be very clear about your career goals right from the day one. Be clear about the career goals with regards to your skill sets, with regards to your strengths, with regards to your interest. What is it that drives your passion? So be very clear about that and explore all these things. And what are your personality traits? What attributes do you want your personal brand to have? And before that, Why do you even want to have a personal brand? What is the purpose behind it? So is it because maybe if you are a student and not yet working, is it because you are looking for your dream job? And if you're working, is it because you want to change your job or you want a different role? So be very clear about all these aspects and then explore what and how you want to create your personal brand. The next is, of course, engineer. Now, here is where you plan and design your personal brand. So, you have to according to your professional goals, you have to see whatever you are communicating, whatever message you are giving out, whether online or offline, is it in consonance with your professional goals? So, are you saying something which you really want to do, which you really want to achieve? So it has to be in consonance with that. Now, because we are now working in a hybrid model, and it is not just online, but it is also now in person, offline. So is your visibility there in both in both the spaces? So you do not need to just be online. You also have to make a great impression offline. So see that your visibility is there, your charisma is there in both the spaces. And also define your audiences. As I said, you cannot address everyone, so you have to define your target audience. So again, as I said, if you are looking for a job, if you are looking to get a job, who is your audience? Are they the recruiters? Are they the HR people? Are they organizations? Are they employers? Who are they and where are they present? So which channels are they present on, and accordingly have your presence over there. So in order to again widen your reach, you can think of starting a podcast. You can think of starting a YouTube channel. You could even think of writing a book. And believe me, people who have written a book, actually authors are viewed as people having a great authority. So, and I can also vouch for that because a book is one of the best forms of a visiting card or a business card. So these are the things you need to engineer and start working on your personal brand. And the third step, of course, is execute. So after you have designed your personal brand, you need to execute execute your plans very diligently. Now this is the personal branding. The whole process is a very deliberate process. It is not an overnight phenomena. So it is time taking. It is a very conscious process, and it will, as I said, take time. But if you are focused, if you are diligent, before long you will become the go-to expert in your field or in your domain. So in this connection, let me take you to a matrix, a four-quadrant matrix. Okay, am I not visible, or is it that I am not audible? What is it?
You're visible and audible. I think if I'll send a message out to people if they have trouble hearing, they
Okay,
should check
some
their.
people are saying I'm visible as well as audible. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I can. Okay, so this is the four quadrants, and the first quadrant consists of low expertise and high visibility. So what does this mean? We see this all around us on the internet. People who are low in their expertise, that is, they do not have the knowledge, but still they are there present everywhere. So in the long run, it does not prove to be very fruitful. The second quadrant is low expertise and low visibility. So here, neither the expertise is there nor the visibility is there. The third quadrant is high expertise and low visibility. So here, you might be a master of your subject. You might have immense command in your niche area, in your area of work, but you do nothing to project yourself to the world. So people around you might know you as an expert, but since you do not project it outside, you have a very low visibility. And that is why you remain unheard and unknown. And the fourth quadrant is what we are all aiming at. It is the ideal quadrant where we have high expertise as well as high visibility. So it is there, and this is the thing, this is the quadrant which we all should aim at. So following this quadrant, based on this matrix, you can craft an awesome professional journey for yourself. So if you are a student, how will you do it? You can, because we are living in these present times, you can leverage the use of the internet and create a very strong identity for yourself. And if you want to talk about something, if you have an abiding interest, if you have a passion, if you have a skill which you want to talk about to the world, then you can do that, and you can easily create a great identity for yourself. And by the way, 70% of the HR people look for online candidates, look for online applicants. And that is why these people have greater opportunities of getting the required job. And also, 90% of the recruiters, they feel that because of the job market becoming so competitive, a person who has a good online presence always stands to get a good job. So these are the things, again, that you should keep in mind. And so this was about the student. Now, if you are a working professional, then what is that exclusive value that you bring to your organization? Ask this question, because domain expertise is a given. It is always going to be there, and that is why you are working in your organization in that particular role. But what is it that sets you apart from the others? So you need to ask yourself that. And also you can ask, what is that one problem that I can solve for my industry or for my organization or in my career? So these are the things you can ask and work on, and you will definitely make a name for yourself. And if you are a seasoned professional, and that is, you have a number of years of experience, then you can ask yourself, how can I combine my expertise and my skill sets and my experience of various industries and create something valuable, create something innovative in my present organization. So these are the things that can give you that go-to expert kind of a visibility and charisma. So these are the things. Now I will talk about certain skills. So certain skills that can again amp your unique brand. So what are those skills that will lend you an edge in your professional growth? Of course, there are a lot of skills. We can talk about so many functional career skills, but today I will be focusing on three important skills, which are very, very crucial to build your personal brand. So the first skill that I will be focusing on is intellectual curiosity. So up till now, I have been focusing on how you should be a master of your domain, how you should be an expert in your niche, but it also pays to go beyond that. It also pays if you appreciate different schools of thought. If you appreciate different people's opinions on any issue, because any issue might have different kinds of opinions, and you should be able to sort of appreciate all these different kinds of opinions and schools of thought. So what is the advantage here is that when you communicate, again, either online or offline, if you post something online, then your perspective will have a much richer and a much more mature understanding than others. So this is why we should develop intellectual curiosity. And what are the ways to develop intellectual curiosity? The first thing, of course, is reading. Be a voracious reader. So You can read books across various genres that will make learning very pleasurable, and it will really fuel your thirst for knowledge. So reading is one thing. The other thing is that you can learn at least 2 3 skills apart from your domain skills, apart from the skills that you already know. So anything that is interconnected sort of to your skill, to your main skill or your core skill, you can master that, and that will give you a lot of authority. So these are the ways in which you can, sort of become intellectually superior to the others, and this is what is going to set you apart. It will give you a heads up when people are looking for such profiles, either online or even for people for when you are writing your resume, or when you are appearing for your interviews. It will lend you an edge because you are coming from a place which is very well thought out and very well researched, and the others are not coming from that kind of an advantage. So it will make a very great impact on that. So this is the first skill. And then the second skill is, of course, executive presence. Now, how many of you have heard of this term executive presence? Can I get an EP in the chat box? An EP, if you have heard the term executive presence. Yes. So a lot of us in the corporates have heard of that elusive. Yes. Okay. Of that elusive, that X factor, which is called executive presence. Now, these are the kind of people who stay calm under pressure. These are the kind of people who make a great first impression. Why? Because they are genuine and they lack any pretenses of any kind. And of course, they are committed workers, they are knowledgeable, they have a lot of gravitas, and a lot of authority. And because they are creative thinkers, their solutions to problems are again very well thought out, and that is why they get the opportunity to lead and execute their ideas. So Captain Cool, that's right. So in short, executive presence is your ability to inspire trust and confidence in others. Now, if I'm talking about your subordinates, then your people who are working under you, do you inspire them enough that they are ready to follow you? And if I'm talking about your colleagues, your peers, then do they find you reliable and capable of handling situations? And if I'm talking about your superiors, your bosses, your managers, do they feel that you have that potential of being given challenging assignments, being given more important roles, or in short, being given more a leadership role in the organization? So these are the things which you have to develop in yourself in order to have an executive presence. And it might seem like a very tall order for one person to have, but believe me, it is a skill like any other skill. It is an acquired skill. It is not an inherent one, and you have to work on it with dedication and with consistency. And soon you will have that X factor in you, which is called executive presence. And this is the difference when you reach your mid-career level. This is going to make the difference on whether you're going to go ahead and get that leadership role, or whether you're going to stay and stagnate in your places, in your place where you are. So this is the second skill you should be thinking of. And then we come to the most important skill of all, and that is, of course, communications. Now, this is a very wide umbrella because it consists of your non-verbals, your verbal intelligence. It consists of your oral, your written, your digital communication. It consists of so many things. But today, for the purpose of personal branding, I am going to be focusing on the 2 aspects of communications, and that is, the first one is active listening, and the second one is going to be public speaking. So, what is listening? Now, we have often heard this term active listening. How can listening be active? Now, active listening is when you listen to the other person for the purpose in order to understand what that person is actually trying to convey. So you are listening to the person with empathy, with attention, and you are reading and you are understanding not just the words that the person is uttering, but also the subtle nuances of the underlying meaning. The underlying meaning behind what is left unsaid. So these are the things which only a person who is very, very understanding, very, very empathetic towards others can do. So develop this quality of active listening, and in the process, you will have great interpersonal relationships with your people around you in your organization, and of course, you will develop that quality of empathy towards others. So this is active listening. The second, of course, is very important, and that is public speaking. Now here, public speaking, by that I don't mean you need to be a very fine orator. Now, public speaking means everything. It means your communication in public. It means your communication, the way you talk in your workplace. It means your communication with your subordinates, with your colleagues, with your peers, with your superiors. Whether or not you can inspire other people to your thoughts, to your way of thinking, whether or not suppose it's a sales meeting or a client meeting, whether or not you can negotiate in a very effective manner. All these things constitute public speaking, and it is not just about you being a very good orator. So these are the three skills, according to me, the three power skills that can take your brand to another level altogether. So now, let me just pause for a moment, and if I can request Stuart to share the form, and I would request everyone to quickly fill up that form and submit it, please. It will hardly take 30 seconds. So Stuart, if you can share that form.
Right, and everyone should look into the chat window. I am sending it now.
Yes, just fill it up fast. I mean, hardly take 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, Puneet Rai, all good. Oh, okay, great. So now with that, we come to the second section of this masterclass, and that is how to build your personal brand on the digital platform. So that is, of course, these days very, very important. Now, according to Data Reportal, almost 5 billion people worldwide are on the internet. And of course, as we know, the pandemic has only served to increase these numbers. So the days of pitching by flyers, by what do you call those brochures and pamphlets, all those days are gone. If you want your reach to be wider, that is. And so, how do we do it? What we do is we Instagram what we eat, we Pinterest what we wear, and we celebrate our pet's birthday on Facebook. Nothing wrong with that. Visibility is crucial. But what you must remember is that whatever you are posting is again in accordance with the image or with your personal brand that you're trying to create, or that which you have already created. you have cultivated. So keep that in mind always, and always be careful of the kind of experience you are providing to your audience, to your niche, to your target audience, so to say. So now let us look at some of the various platforms where you can build your awesome personal brand. And the first, of course, is Twitter. Now, this is primarily, as you all know, it is an opinion platform where if you have a perspective on any issue, you can share it. And I personally like Twitter because it is a very effective way of content creation. And because the character limit is only 280, so you are forced to think before you tweet. And that is why it teaches you the brevity of expression. And that is why Twitter is one of the best way of content creation for me. And it teaches you brevity, it teaches you how to share your ideas in a very effective and concise manner. The next, of course, is Instagram, very popular, but very erroneously termed as a fun and activity platform, or mainly a visual delight platform. There are so many serious influencers on Instagram who are doing tremendous work. So it is not just fun and games over there. Now, if your target audience is there, or if you want to make your presence felt on Instagram, you need to keep your bio optimized. Now, this is the first thing, your bio and your profile pic. Those are the two things which everyone notices the moment they scroll through Instagram and land on your profile. So if your bio is optimized and it has all the things briefly, again there is a limitation of characters that you can use, limitation of space is there. So project your bio as you would your elevator pitch. So in 30 seconds, you have to say whatever you want to say about yourself in your elevator pitch. Similarly, in limited space, say what you want to say about what you do, showcase your talent, showcase your work on your Instagram bio. And of course, end it with a call to action. That is very, very important. The CTA is very important. You could add a link to your website. You could add a link to your landing page, a link to your event, probably which you are hosting, or anything, one of your courses, if you have a course. If not, you can have a Linktree account. Now, Linktree account, if people click on that, you will be taking them, you will be directing them to all the other platforms where you have a presence on. So this is Instagram very, very briefly. Now, the next platform of choice for us is YouTube. Now, don't we all know that it is the second largest search engine after Google? And as such, it has immense reach and immense potential. So it has entertainment, it has education, it has infotainment, it has news, it has various panel discussions, and of course videos of all kinds. So if you make really great content consistently on YouTube, the SEO will pick it up, and very soon you will have a large network, a large following, and very wide reach on YouTube. The next, of course, is the original branding platform, the original personal branding platform, Facebook, and all of us started with this, didn't we? So here there are so many options, and Facebook has made rock stars of so many people. So you can use Facebook groups, you can use Facebook pages, and you can use Facebook business. Yeah, there are endless options for creating your brand on Facebook. And one thing which I would just like to point out very quickly is that Facebook page. We all have a Facebook page, more or less everyone has. But on that Facebook page, there is that option of having a cover image. Now, on that cover image, instead of just placing or just putting a cover image, you can use a carousel. Now, this option is there, this feature is there on Facebook page where you can use a carousel of at least four images in one space. So that is a big advantage if you want to say something about yourself, about your organization, about your talents, about your brand itself. So this carousel feature you can use on your Facebook page. The next platform, very new entrant to the scene, and it has really burst into the onto the web, and very recent phenomena, and it is called Clubhouse. Now this is primarily an audio platform, so where of course since it is only audio, your content needs to be great. But apart from that, apart from the content, because you're discussing serious and targeted topics on this, or your chosen topics, and you're having discussions in the club rooms on this in this platform. So apart from your great content, the manner in which you communicate, the manner in which you present, or your tonality or your articulation, all these things need to be very good on Clubhouse, and also the manner in which you drive engagement in the room. For instance, if you're discussing about a book, let's say the 4 hour work week, the 4 hour work week by Tim Ferriss. I'm sure a lot of you have read that. So if you're discussing something about books and authors, you can ask the people, you can draw out the people and ask them, have you read this book? What do you think of it? Do you agree with the author? So instead of monopolizing the conversation, you need to engage everyone else in the room. You can even ask them, if they have not read the book, what book are they presently reading, or who is their favorite author? So things like that, and very soon you will become very popular in Clubhouse, and you will have a lot many followers. So now we come to the mecca of personal branding, and that is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is one of the most powerful professional networking platforms, and it has 810 million members spread over 200 countries. So it provides immense value, it provides great content creation and knowledge sharing. So to build an impactful and stellar profile on LinkedIn, I will now give you 9 steps to build a great profile. Now, these 9 steps, actually constitute the 9 sections of your LinkedIn profile. And if you have all these covered, you will definitely set yourself up to greater heights as far as your personal branding is concerned. So let us quickly look at all these 9 sections or the 9 steps. The first, of course, being your profile picture. Now, profile picture is the first thing, as I said, is what people look at. So your profile picture over here in LinkedIn has to be a professional headshot. You cannot have a casual profile picture. And remember, that professional headshot, you need to have a smiling demeanor. It cannot be a dead stare, because with your picture, if your picture is warm and inviting, people feel propelled to stop and look at the rest of your profile. So have a very nice, nicely shot professional headshot. And also there is another option. Instead of apart from a profile picture, you can have a video also. So that is a 30-second video option. So when you click on the profile picture, there is an option to upload a video as well. So that can be an introductory video for yourself, and you can be talking directly to your target audience in that. So make use of it. The next, of course, is cover image. Now, here I would like to ask a question. How many of you have kept that cover image blank? How many of you have left that cover image blank? Because a lot of us do not bother to put up any cover image at all. Yes, so he's typing, he has left it blank, and Swapna has left it blank. Now, this is a real waste of, what should I say? Real estate on LinkedIn. So never leave it blank. You can add, your areas of expertise. If you don't want to add an image, you can add your areas of expertise on in this space, and because text is also allowed, so you can add that. As far as the pic is concerned, the picture is concerned, you can add any picture that depicts you in action. So for example, you could be, action, meaning you could have organized an event and you can put a picture of that in your cover image. You can put a picture of your organization and you working over there in your cover image. Anything but and everything can will do, but do not leave it blank. So yes, the third is your headline. Now this is your brand positioning. So this should be very succinct and very clear, because again, the limitation of characters is always there. So you can have headlines in two ways. The first way is, of course, to have a very routine corporate kind of a headline, which mentions your various roles, and all these roles are separated by those vertical separators. So that looks very neat and very orderly. Another way is, instead of just mentioning the various roles and the various positions that you hold, you can say in one sentence, I help. For instance, I can say, I help 1 million people achieve or acquire their dream jobs. So you can do that. That will be more catchy. So be very creative when you are making your headline. So that is another thing. Now, the fourth section is, of course, very important, and that is about you, what we call the summary section. Now, here also you can write about yourself in several ways. You can write about yourself in the form of a story, and what your journey has been, what your professional as well as personal journey has been, because there is a lot of space and there is a lot of text that you can write in this section. So write about your achievements, your accomplishments, your various career trajectories. Where all have you worked? What have you achieved? What are the results? And where you are at present. So you can mention all these things. And if you do not want to write this kind of an essay, this kind of a story, then you can write in bullet forms or in the forms of few points. Let's say about 5 or 6 points. Describing your various interests, your various roles, and your various skill sets. So that will again be in the form of bulleted points. If not, you can combine both these things together and give a short story in the beginning, and in the remaining space you can give a bullet your bullets or points about your skill sets, various skill sets, your achievements, your accomplishments. All that can come in the form of bullet points. So the choice is yours, but make it a very impressive, because recruiters often come here and read about, because that is the place where they will find out about yourself. So they always go through your about you section. The next is, of course, your featured section. And here you can add all your audio visuals, your videos and everything, all your achievements, your awards. In fact, you can make a carousel again of all the feedback, wonderful feedback, and, things praising you, things which show what a high achiever you are. So make a carousel of all these accomplishments and put it in your featured section. And always, of course, have a CTA or a call to action. You can take them, you can take your visitors to the website or to any other site, any other platform that you want them to. For instance, for me, the featured section consists of my book and all the activities around my book. So if it is a show, talk show featuring my book, I put that video over there. The link to my book from Amazon, that is there. So you can do a lot of things in your featured section, and it is literally your hall of fame. So make it attractive, make it lively, and make it picturesque. The next is experience, and this is generally mainly only for professionals. I mean, of course, others can also do it, but it is good for professionals and people who are looking for jobs, for students. And here you can list all your experiences, all your different roles that you've had in the form of a resume, but make it a bit more creative. The next is network. So we all talk about how important it is to have, how important it is to have a great network on LinkedIn. And, we keep on increasing our network, and we do not really pay attention to what kind of people we are adding in our connections. So here, according to the LinkedIn gurus, there is a formula, and that formula is to follow the 50 is to 30 is to 20 principle. So this 50, 30, 20 rule, what does it mean? It means that 50% of your connections should be those people whom you want to target. That is, again, your target audience. For instance, if you are again looking for a job, who are the people who are your target audience? Again, the HR, the recruiters, the hiring people, the organizations, employers, those kind of people would be your target audience. And similarly, if you are a professional who's looking to change his job or looking for other roles, the kind of people who would be helpful for you. So those constitute the 50%. The next 30% should be your mentors, should be people who are above you in their lives, should be people who are above you in their careers, and they should be people whom you look up to, from whom you want to learn, and whom you want to follow. So these are the people who constitute your next 30%. And of course, the final 20% could be anyone who interests you, anyone who has made a name for himself or herself, or anyone. It can be a very interesting mix of people. It could also be your potential clients. So all these people can constitute your 20% of network. So let us all follow this rule of 50, 30, 20 and grow our connections and our network. The next section is recommendations. Now, here again, you can ask your bosses, you can ask your mentors, you can ask your managers, your university heads, your professors, whoever it is under whom you have worked, you can ask them to give you a recommendation. But here, instead of just asking them to give a recommendation, you can perhaps give them a structure on what they can write on. So the first thing is your relationship with them. The second is the time period of your association with them. The third is how they have gauged your skill sets and achievements. And fourth is the results and impact that you have created. So if you give them this guideline, they will give you a fantastic recommendation, and it always pays. You should have recommendations on your profile. The last is skills. We all know how important it is to have the relevant skills to get the kind of opportunities in our careers that we want. A very good feature in the skills section is to take a skills quiz. I'm sure you're aware of that. And when you take a skills quiz, it will determine your top skills, and hence it will attract potential recruiters. So these are the 9 steps that I think are important to build a stellar LinkedIn profile and in turn your personal brand on the web. So with this, Okay, another question. Out of these 9 steps, these 9 sections, uh, could you tell me at least one where you need to put more effort in, where you feel that it is not optimum, so you need to work more on this section. So which section is it for you? Okay, about you. Yes, Florence. Skill, featured, featured. Yes, recommendation. Great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your responses. And now, if experience, recommendations, skills, yes. So I think everyone's profile pic and cover image is optimum. That is really super. Okay, now if I can request before leaving, if I can request Stuart to share a link in the chat box, and we will have some magic. So Stuart, can you do that? There is a link and
Yes, that's the
yeah.
link to your activity.
Okay. So how
Hold on
many,
a second.
yeah, yeah. So how many of you have heard of a thing called SSI on LinkedIn? SSI score. Please type yes if you have heard of that. SSI. No, okay. So SSI is the Social Selling Index score. Social Selling Index score, and it tells you how successful you are at developing your brand. So whether or not you are networking with the right kind of people, or whether you are consistently posting, because I keep repeating this, consistency is key. So whether you are consistently posting on LinkedIn and engaging with others. So if you are doing that, whether you are building relationships. So these are certain parameters which the social selling index score will tell you about. And if Stuart has put that link in the chat box, all of you can go ahead and click on that and you will get your SSI score immediately. So it is a very valuable insight on how productive you are being on this platform. Okay, 13%. Okay, Asha, not bad, not bad. That's okay. Oh, 65 on 100. And yes, if you are between 50 and 70, it is quite commendable. But anything beyond 70 is what we should all aim at. And let us all work and let us see which parameter are we lacking on so that we take our score higher, at least to 70%. So this was the magic that I wanted to share with you, the SSI score. Oh, Abdul has got 78%. Excellent, excellent. So with that, we come to the end of this masterclass, and here's wishing that your brand you, becomes more and more visible, it becomes more and more valuable, and you are discovered more, you are noticed more, and you gain more and more followers, and may your tribe increase. And that is why I wish you a very, very happy personal branding effort ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay. Do we have time, Seema, for questions?
I have enough time. I mean, I have all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did have some questions that came in from the audience.
Yeah.
And let me start with Nitu, who asks, they're interested in the healthcare area. Can you offer any advice in that regard?
Health area?
In healthcare, yeah.
Healthcare. Okay. Yeah,
Career
healthcare.
career advice, I think.
If she is interested in healthcare, am I getting the question right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Neetu, yes, health, fitness is, health is very important because, if you are not keeping good health, then where is the question of you working towards your personal brand? Where is the question of you working towards your career goals? Your health, both physically and mentally, needs to be at an optimum. So health is taken for granted, and that is why we have this proverb, health is wealth, because without health you cannot take any action at all. So always think about healthy eating, sleep on time, and also nurture your health in the same way in which you nurture your mind. So both your mind and your body need to be nurtured uh, very, very well, because feed your mind with positive things and it will show in your efforts. Feed your body with positive things, and again it will show in the in the awesome health that you have. So health at any age is very important, and you need to take care of that. Yes.
Okay. Um, Pravin has an interesting question because Pravin says his communication isn't good. That's the way he thinks. He has this idea that he doesn't have good communication, that time is always a problem for him. So how can he overcome that thought process and think more constructively about himself?
Okay, so here the problem is the time. So he is not able to manage time well, perhaps. And so here I would suggest.
He's also asking about communication skills. He thinks he doesn't have good communication skills.
Okay, okay. So, as I said, communication is one of the most important building blocks of a personal brand, and not just a personal brand. Communication helps you everywhere. So, start small, I would suggest, and try to first focus on your spoken language. Spoken, whether it's English or whether it's any other language that you want to focus on. It could be your mother tongue. It is not necessary. Very many people erroneously believe that you need to have very good English. It is not that. You can express yourself in any language, but you need to put across your views. You need to put across your thoughts in a very, very impressive and impactful manner. So start small, try to talk to people around you, try to express your opinions, even though you are not. Very expressive person. Try to open up and speak to people around you, and also you can take help from professionals. You can take help, as I said, reading. Develop that, cultivate that reading habit. The more you read, the better your language skills will become, and the better your language skills will become, the better your vocabulary will become, and you will be able to incorporate those words that you have learned. And these words are learned seamlessly when you read. It's not as if you need to go to the dictionary to find out the meaning. You will understand through the course of your reading what a particular word means. So when you have a great vocabulary, you will not hesitate. You will gain the confidence to express yourself in front of others. So that is about the spoken skills. Now, as far as the written skills is concerned, again, you do not need to have very, very good grammar, or people focus on grammar a lot when they are learning communications. I feel it is not very important, because there are these days so many tools, so many aids in which we can correct our grammar. So the important thing is to express yourself well, not concentrate on the number of words that you have in your arsenal, or the correct grammar that you have. So it takes time, but always work on your communications, because it is a very, very important skill. Yes.
Okay. Alice has an interesting question. She's in the midst of a career change. She asks, how can she stand out with a LinkedIn profile? What can she do to her profile to make it stand out to the
Right,
in the
right.
crowd?
Okay, so she wants to change her job probably. And what she should do is, I just mentioned all the 9 aspects, the 9 sections. Now, here again, she should be concentrating, she should be focusing on the featured section, the about you section, because the featured section will include all the laurels, all the achievements that she has had in the past. So it will showcase all those things to the potential recruiter. Plus, about you is again the entire journey, the entire career trajectories, the various roles that she has had. And now she is looking for a better opportunity, perhaps. Now she is looking because of her skill sets. She feels that she can be offered another opportunity or a better opportunity. So she should keep that in mind and write the about you or the summary section. So these are the things that she can, keep all the 9 sections at an optimum when she is looking for a career switch. This is what can be done.
Okay. We have one last question before we have to move on, and
Yes.
that is, we've got a number of people who have asked about specific career or industries and domains. And do you have advice for how somebody should brand themselves within their particular industry, whether it's um, technology industry or education industry, or even a question came in from someone who wants to be an animator. How
Mm-hmm.
how would
Yes.
how would you
Yes.
address that?
Yeah, okay. So the first thing, as I said, whichever industry you are from, learn to be an expert at your job. You have to be an expert in your niche. You have to be an expert in that industry which you belong to. Because there are so many people who have these technical skills, these core skills. What is that thing? What is that exclusive thing that sets you apart from the others? So you need to focus on that, and you need to think in a different manner, think in an innovative manner to distinguish yourself, to differentiate yourself from the others. So this is the first thing that of course, you need to be an expert, you need to have an expertise in your industry, but also make yourself more visible, also provide enough value. Value is very, very important, because people who have the expertise, if they do not provide that same value to others, then the whole game is lost. So personal branding itself means the kind of value and experience you can provide to others, so that they think you are an expert and you can project yourself as an expert in this manner. So provide enough value, and of course be an expert in your field, and you will have an awesome personal brand for yourself.
Okay. I'm going to put into the chat window now a number of resources that Seema has shared, which are her contact information, her LinkedIn profile, and a link to her book on career skills for professional success. And I'm going to move on to the last part, close out the webinar. So thank you everybody for your patience and for being here. Thank
Thank
you
you so
very much
much.
for to Seema for being here.
Thank
And
you, Stuart. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. It's a pleasure
and
being here.
let me move on. We have a final poll, which asks, if you are involved in technology and are looking to develop technology skills, which of those skills are you most interested in learning? You can pick one or more. And the second part of the question is very important. When will you start that learning process? We always get a number of questions about attendance certificates for these webinars. Um, but we also want to ask you about earning actual certificates for skills that you've acquired. So when are you interested in starting that, and what skills are you looking to develop? And we've got about 10 more seconds on the poll. And we'll close it in 2 more seconds here. And here are the results. So the most popular categories are business and project management, data science, and digital marketing. And it's good to see that about 40% of the audience is interested in getting started right away, with another 20% or so looking to start soon, within the next 3 months. So with that said, I'm just going to point out a resource that Simplilearn offers, which is called the Skill Up program. And the Skill Up program is free. It allows you to study in these different skill domains, and you can earn certificates for completing these self-study courses. These are sort of introductory to the more involved courses that we offer that include live virtual classrooms and hands-on labs and that type of thing. But these Skill Up courses are self-study video, and they're free. You can do them on your own schedule, and they do offer completion certificates that you can add to your LinkedIn profile. So going to put that information in the chat now with the link to our Skill Up homepage. And last item, I'd like to mention that we have 2 more webinars this week. So if you are interested in these topics, the first one is product management. The second one is a technical masterclass for digital marketers. And I'll put those in the chat as well. And they'll be held at the same time of day, which is 9 p.m. India time, and 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern in North America. And with that said, I invite all of you to connect with us on our social media channels at Simplilearn on Facebook and Twitter, Simplilearn on LinkedIn. Again, thank you so much to Seema for being here, and thank you to everyone in the audience for being here today. All right, and that concludes our webinar.